Thanks, Ray. It's Mark Dolan in for the brilliant Dan Wootton this week. Great to have your company. Well, one thing's for sure. Amid this alleged BBC sex scandal, a certain Philip Schofield breathes a huge sigh of relief. I've got no doubt he enjoyed an extra glass of Pinot Grigio last night as he reflected on a set of allegations against a BBC star, which takes the heat off him for a while. It's ironic that the BBC, who gave the world EastEnders, are responsible for their own real-life soap opera, or should I say farce, as one presenter after another has to quickly go on Twitter and say, "It's not me, Gov." From major household names to obscure local weathermen, they've all distanced themselves from the story. The only big BBC names we haven't heard from so far are Pingu, Pudsey Bear and Mr Blobby. I've always thought that Blobby was a wrong 'un. By withholding the identity of this star, the BBC are taking all of us for children. They're treating us like idiots. If they persist in withholding information which is in the national interest, that will only fuel speculation about whether the story is true or not. The Sun's coverage of the story, including a first-hand account from the alleged victim's mother, once again demonstrates the importance of a free press. And I think the paper will release the name of this big star in the coming days or even the coming hours, something the BBC haven't got the balls to do. Their unwillingness to act, especially as early as May the 19th, when the first complaint was made, raises major question marks about the systems they have in place for this kind of shocking allegation. It's ironic, isn't it? Because they were far less judicial when they sent a helicopter to poor old Cliff Richard's house amid allegations which turned out to be completely untrue. So they're happy to point the finger at a true British cultural icon like Cliff, but they want to protect the identity of one of their own. Why? Well, the BBC said they didn't get more serious allegations until Thursday, and they've been following their protocols. So, of course, we should reserve judgment. They may have done all the right things at every stage, time will tell. Plus, the alleged perpetrator may be innocent of any crime. After all, a lawyer representing the alleged victim has said the mother's story is complete rubbish. But she has since hit out, standing by her explosive claims. Either way, withholding the identity of this individual will cause more damage when it's finally revealed. And at the moment, the Beeb leave themselves exposed to claims of a cover-up, particularly given that their bosses allegedly partied with the individual at a posh awards ceremony after these allegations were made. We have a right to know who this person is, given the fact that we literally pay their wages, money that, if this story is true, was allegedly used to feed the crack cocaine addiction of an innocent teenager. Listen, folks, it is question time for the BBC, and at the moment, they are the weakest link. Responding now are my superstar panel, Daily Express columnist Carol Malone, journalist and broadcaster Benjamin Butterworth, and former Brexit Party MEP and political commentator Belinda DeLucy. Now, before we get straight into this story, let me bring you up to date on what's been said so far. The Met Police have said there's no investigation at this stage, and a letter from the lawyer of the alleged victim to the BBC denies the claims outright. It said, for the avoidance of doubt, nothing inappropriate or unlawful has taken place between our client and the BBC personality, and the allegations reported in the Sun newspaper are rubbish. But the Sun have responded. In a statement to the broadcaster, we have reported a story about two very concerned parents who made a complaint to the BBC about the behaviour of a presenter and the welfare of their child. Their complaint was not acted upon by the BBC. We've seen evidence that supports their concerns. It's now for the BBC to properly investigate. However, breaking tonight, the mum at the centre of the scandal has now told The Sun, "It is sad, but we stand by our accounts and we hope they get the help they need. We did this to help, and the presenter has got into their head. How did they afford a lawyer?" The stepfather added, "We're disappointed they made a statement. It's not true." So there's disagreement between the individual and their parents.